realistic keeps you trapped in a false sense of identity, because pursuing your dream and pursuing your goals makes you so uncomfortable, even though that's going to bring you the most happiness and the most alignment and the most purpose in your life. If you feel like you want a certain life for yourself, if you know what you want in life, whether that's your lifestyle, a career, a relationship, anything you want, but everyone around you and everything around you keeps pushing the idea that the things you want are way above where you're meant to be. If you feel stuck because you don't truly actually believe that your dreams can come true and your goals can be realized and you can be successful in life, then this video is for you. When you yourself don't actually believe in the possibility of achieving everything you want and reaching to the end goal in your life, your mind starts to play games on you on how realistic something is and the reasons why it can't happen rather than why it could happen to you. You start to look at things from a very negative viewpoint. So basically, being unhappy but safe feels like the better option to your mind than being happy and fulfilled but uncomfortable and out of your comfort zone. If you grew up in chaos, in violence, in trauma, in poverty, when you're faced with the possibility to have success and abundance and happiness and fulfilling relationships and fulfilling life, you feel incredibly uncomfortable with that feeling. You don't even feel like you deserve it. And then your mind starts to make excuses like, oh, I don't think I'm qualified enough for this job. I don't think I'm educated enough. I don't think that me applying to this job, applying for this school, trying to pursue a career in this field is going to be the way of success for me, and I'm not going to be happy, I'm not going to be successful, even though on a very real level, on a very core level, you actually really desire it and you know what you want, but you just don't think you deserve it. Your mind essentially lies to you in order to keep you in places that essentially drain you, which makes no sense. The first thing you want to realize in order to actually get to the place that you want to get in life is realize that the most successful people and the people that you admire and aspire to be, they are not smarter than you. They're not prettier than you. They're not more talented than you. They're not luckier than you. It's because they have something that you don't. Audacity. They have the audacity to actually pursue their dreams. And that is something you lack because you don't even believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else? Whatever you were told as a child on how to be successful, it becomes your truth. If you grew up and your family always told you, you need to go to university, you need to have an education to get anywhere in life, that will be your truth. If you were told that taking risk is how you become successful, that will be your truth. If you were told that money is the root of all evil and that being rich makes you a bad person, that will be your truth. Whatever you took in as the truth as a child becomes almost like the law in your mind. You follow it blindly without even thinking about what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're self-sabotaging yourself, how you're limiting yourself in order to get to the places that you want to get in life. But you do have a choice in how you choose to view yourself and how you choose to believe in yourself and how you choose to step up for yourself and take action and prove to yourself, I am worthy of achieving the things that I want to do in my life. I am worthy of being successful. The second thing is, what I feel like a lot of people have is the feeling of it being too late. You being too old, too young, whatever it is. You need to realize that time is a man-made construct. We have this system put in place in order to make sense of something that doesn't really make sense. You can have 10 years left of your life. You could have 60 years of life left on your life. You have no guarantee of how long you're going to live. So why waste it? Why waste any second? It doesn't matter how old you are, and it's never too late. Realize that you have the key in order to get out of the cage that you put yourself in, and everything that you feel like is entrapping you and limiting you is actually all a projection of how you feel about yourself. I saw this girl say, I am blooming late because I've been growing roots for so long. And I think if you really think about it, every single experience you have had, regardless of physical age is something you can utilize in order to create success for yourself. If you grew up in a very traumatizing, violent, chaotic environment, you probably have really good emotional intelligence. Use that skill. You're probably very good at reading people. Use that skill to get you ahead. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be to do with negative things. For example, you can have a creative mind, and if you just stopped thinking that these ideas aren't good enough and started believing in yourself, you would probably be in a better place than you are right now. You can be 27 years old and decide, this is not the career I want. I'm going to change it. You can be 20 years old, midway through your degree, and if it's genuinely not aligning with who you are anymore, you can choose to leave. It's easier said than done, but you can do it. The third thing you need to be doing to be able to actually believe in yourself and take aligned action for your goals is adopt a childlike mindset. What does this mean? When we're children, we're not thinking, am I good enough to be doing this? Am I talented enough? Is this even okay? That is all learned behavior, right? If you wanted to paint that day, you're not thinking, I can't paint. I'm not very good at drawing. I'm not very good at painting. Unless someone told you that verbally, you don't even realize what that is because you were so much more present and you didn't think about other people's opinions of you as much. This guy called Jim Rohn once said, believe like a child, but take actions like an adult, right? What does this mean? So when we want something, we are in child mode. When we're dreaming, when we're thinking about all of our desires, but when we're taking actions, we're using practical steps in order to achieve it. The reason why you feel like you can't even take steps to get there is because you don't believe you're going to succeed and you're scared of being seen even trying. It feels humiliating to you. And then you start thinking, oh, this is how people view me and this is what people are going to think about me. I'm going to be rejected. I'm not even good enough for this. Those are all thoughts that you think about yourself, not how others view you necessarily. It's just you projecting your own thoughts about yourself onto other people, and that feels like less confrontational. That feels much less confrontational to you than the real truth, which is that you probably need to change the way you see yourself and your self-concept and your self-confidence. Have the limitless and openness of a child when thinking about the things that you want, but take practical steps. And whether that's like the smallest thing, like reading a book to learn a skill, or something much bigger for you and something that's going to make you feel more out of your comfort zone, there's still steps. That's still trying. Trying is still better than nothing. You can't pray to catch the bus and then not run for the bus. You need to pray to catch the bus and run for the bus in order to catch that bus and get in. And if it's not your bus, then it'll miss you. And that's okay. And that wasn't meant for you, you know? Once you stop fearing failure and rejection, then your life will change. The next thing is you need to understand that you have a choice on whose advice you can take. When someone tells you, this is impossible for you, or this happened to my friend, or this is the type of people that this company wants and I don't think they're looking for you, or this is the type of person that this school wants, this university, or whatever it is that you want in life. When you choose to listen to their opinion, you're allowing all of their fears and their limiting beliefs about themselves be projected and reflected onto you and your self-concept. So many people want all of the things that you want, whether that's money, whether that's a career, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a family, whatever it is. So many people want it. So many people do fail, yes, but so do so many people succeed. And it's all about perspective. If you decide to look at things from glass half full instead of half empty, you're changing your perspective and you're changing your self-concept and you're changing your life and you're changing your possibility and your ability to reach success. Change your view of what success is. So what does this mean? Instead of thinking of success as something tangible and something you can see and something with immediate result, see success as just trying and taking action. Whether that's posting a video and it getting like 10 views, who cares? Whether that's applying for a job you don't feel qualified for, who cares? Whether that's you auditioning for a role that you really want and you don't think you're gonna get, do that. Whether that's posting, your art and put yourself out there, do that. When you are taking action for the things that you want, you're essentially telling yourself, I believe in you. I believe that you can achieve this. And whether it goes somewhere or it doesn't matter anymore, because I believe in you. And that's all that matters. Success doesn't have to be something big. It can just be the act of trying. Remind yourself that what is achievable for someone else and realistic is all based on whatever they were taught growing up. And if you just show up with some grace and some understanding about that, you'll learn not to take on everyone's thoughts and mindsets about life, about success, about anything onto yourself. It's all about you and your choices, and it's all about whether you believe in yourself. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys achieve everything you desire.